I will attempt to do a history/tour of Everett Community College. And in this video, I will include some of the history of the college. So I'll show you different pictures that were taken during different years. Nice thing is that Everett Community College, which was called Everett Junior College when it was established, it started doing yearbooks every single year. I don't have it up to the current ones, but the ones that are online, which I think was till about 1967, that is currently uploaded online, is on there. And it was really interesting to see how much changed during the years. So first of all, let me just give you some background. The college was established in 1941. You've seen flags around campus which have that year. That year is significant. That's when it was established. As I mentioned before, it wasn't called Everett Community College. It was called Everett Junior College, which meant that there were only two classes in this college. There were freshmen and then there were sophomores. During the first year the college was running, which it was running in a different location, and I will show you some of the pictures of where it was. During that first year, there were only 11 different professors that taught the different classes during that time. As of now, for comparison, we have over 300 people who teach. The first dean of the college was George N. Porter, and it was the dean. Now we have presidents. It was just a different type of college. And I will show you a picture from the Clipper, which we still have. It's basically a newspaper that the college publishes. And now it looks more like a magazine. They have this advertisement about their fall term, which at that point, that was really large. That's why they advertised it, that they had 315 students in 1944. Currently, the year that I have the most recent information from, which is fall 2019, we had 9,382 students signed up. So during the 75 years, we definitely grew. Even though it was a junior college, it was still actually kind of like a community college, because in the evenings they would have these adult classes, and basically to qualify you had to be at least 18 years old and not enrolled in any public school. And people who would attend were people who were either working during the day and they wanted either retraining or just like additional skills, or people who never got educated at all and they wanted to come back and learn some kind of skill. So it was technically already a community college a long time before it was renamed that. Finally, in 1958, which it was really anticipated, Everett Community College moved to its current location, and it started building the buildings that some of them we still have. Originally it built 7 different buildings, and at that point they didn't have names. Right now, if you probably know or noticed that most of the buildings that we have on campus are named after either the Olympic or the Cascade Mountain ranges. Back then, when they just started, it was just named by numbers. So there were just buildings with different numbers. And we since have 20 different buildings. And in 1967, Everett Junior College became known as Everett Community College, and that was to comply with that Washington State Community College Act. have behind me is the Japanese Cultural Resource Center that was founded in 1987, and it is to educate on the Japanese culture and the language. And it was partially established because of the Everett's relationships with Japanese partners. Currently it's closed. I'll just get some shots over the fence. But when it does open, go visit it and check it out. Whenever I would go here, especially in the warm summer months, it's really pretty, but it's pretty empty, which I think that a lot of people just don't know about this place, and it is really cool. On February 16th, 1987, an arson fire broke out in the library that destroyed the main student services building and the library and all the books, everything that was in there. The fire destroyed 48,000 books, but the saddest thing is that one of the firefighters who was fighting the fire got killed in the fire. He ran out of oxygen. His name was Gary Parks, and he died trying to put the flames down. And the college made a memory for him, and it's just like a statue that has a firefighter's coat and a hat. In October of 1988, the college built a new library and service building, which cost $8 million to construct and to buy all the books, and it dedicated it to Parks, after whom it is named. One thing that did survive the fire is the sculpture behind me. It's called a feather star. And the history behind it is it was made like an art decoration, and it was in the original building that got burned down, but it survived. And after a new building was erected, this is where the new location of this feather star is, and it is made after a sea-like, it's like a flower-like sea creature that when there's currents, underwater currents, its arms, they're like kind of like feather-like, and they move and bend with the currents. And because it survived in the fire for the college, it became like the symbol of hope and renewal and rebirth. And it actually made it into our Everett Community College logo. It was the inspiration behind it. Center is the new gym that replaced the 1958 old gym, and this one opened in 2011. In 2015, the college renamed this building after Walter Price, who was at one time the head football and the golf coach. I want to read something about this man from a 1963 yearbook, which was also dedicated to him. At that time, the college was still named Everett Junior College. Here it is. In every group or institution, there are some persons who present a profile of that group. In many instances, this representation can come down to an individual. For Everett Junior College, no one person is the profile of the campus any more than Walt Price. He is a familiar figure wherever he is. Whether it be on the football field as he coached, encouraged, or demanded the utmost from each new team, or on the speaker's rostrum, where with dry wit he tells the athlete's story. Walt is universally loved and respected as a coach, a sportsman, a teacher, and a friend. Whatever the occasion, his rugged individuality, coupled with his deep regard for people, caused him to be an individual one remembers. Walt Price has been a member of the college staff since 1948, and during this time he has distinguished himself as a builder of men and as a friend of students and staff alike. It is with regret I see him come to an end of his coaching years, for as the dean of the junior college coaches, he has dignified the sport and the college as an individual and as a profile of the college. It is with pleasure that we can contemplate his continued tenure with us as a colleague and a friend. And this was written about Walt Price by Dr. Rodney Berg, which at that time he was the president. So this is just a background why this building is named what it is. So because we were talking about sports, the school's colors are red and white, and Trojan was chosen as the school's mascot back in 1941 when the college started. AMTEC, that's behind me, is another building that we have that opened 2014, and AMTEC stands for Advanced Manufacturing Training and Education Center. They specialize in 6 different programs that are, I'll just read them off because I don't have them memorized. It's composites and pre-employment, mechatronics, precision machining, welding and fabrication, and engineering technician. They basically teach the manufacturing process from start to finish on things like unmanned flying machines, robots. They even make pedal boards. So that's what this is. I'm gonna end the tour here. There's definitely a lot more. I didn't even show all of the buildings. The history of college is 75 years, so there's a lot of history I don't know, even though I've been here for a while. and it would just take too long and too much time. But hopefully you know a little bit more about the college that you attend, and hopefully you enjoyed this history and just how beautiful the campus is right now. To end on a historical note, I want to read something from 1963 yearbook. I believe the president was the one who wrote it, and it was the dedication page. Here it is. Webster defines it as the sum of the characteristics or qualities that set one person or thing apart from others. It's why one student will sit for hours in a quiet corner of the library with brows knitted in deep thought, while another will spend the same time chatting with friends about the evening's date, last night's television program, the game on Saturday. It's why one student receives all A's and another all C's, why one curses the instructor for a low mark, while another extends unspoken thanks over discovering his mistakes, why one will smile toward the sun and another never lifts his eyes from his shoe tops. That it, in this case, is individuality. Some attempt to punctuate their individuality with gayness and laughter, a joke shared leisurely with a friend on the way to the campus center. Others hurry around campus and perhaps become only crimson blurs of anonymity. But though many attempt to lose themselves in the crowd, no one can really succeed. Individuality is sort of a prison cell, but at the same time, a key to the stars. One needs only to lift his eyes and quote to himself these words of an anonymous author. I am only one, but I am one. I cannot do everything, but I can do something. What I can do, I ought to do. And what I ought to do, by God's grace, I will do.